Last year, the United Nations General Assembly approved the period 2016 to 2025 as the third industrial development decade for Africa, calling on African countries to improve the living conditions of its citizens through industrialization and creation of jobs. The Assembly noted that Africa remains the poorest and most vulnerable region in the world, highlighting the need for the continent to take urgent action to advance sustainable industrialization. Foreign Affairs Cabinet Secretary Amina Mohammed has told the meeting that the West needs to deepen economic partnership with Africa.
Need and the importance of international cooperation, without which obviously it's going to be very difficult to resolve any of the challenges that face the world today, from migration to climate change. If you looked at to terrorism, any issue that you looked at today would not be resolved by any one state alone.
Amina further urged the United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO to mobilize adequate resources to help African countries achieve the 2025 growth agenda. The Assembly also called for enhanced international cooperation, including North-South, South-South and triangular cooperation in support of Africa's industrialization. The second industrial development decade for Africa was from 1991 to the year 2000.
And he discussed, reforms around the different processes and systems within the UN, but also the organs, the departments, the entities around the UN, how they would work much better together. The fact that the funding for peacekeeping, must be looked at again.
During this year's assembly, Kenya held meetings with more than 15 countries aimed at deepening trade and economic cooperation. During the meeting, the island nation of Costa Rica announced it will open its African diplomatic mission here in Nairobi. The Foreign Affairs CS further highlighted some achievements made during the last 10 years in Africa. In the meeting, Amina said 16 African countries are among the world's top 30 fastest growing nations, while the 10 fastest growing African economies posted GDP growth rates exceeding 5%.